When I was, in my late teens and early 20s, when I really wanted to pursue acting, there was just not a lot of opportunities for me. And I remember reading a lot of scripts where the Asian character either didn't even have a name, or if it did, it would have 2 or 3 lines, and we'd be lucky if we were featured in 2 or 3 pages. I do have memories of when my family decided to flee Vietnam when I was a little kid, and this was right after the Vietnam War. It was a traumatic experience for all of us. Our family was separated for over a year, and then it was not until, a year later, we all reunited here in America. I mean, we were very, very lucky. But that whole experience, I mean, to this day, sometimes when I think about it, it still brings tears to my eyes. We immigrated to the United States in 1979. And as fate would have it, 4 years later, in 1983, George Lucas and Steven Spielberg was looking for an Asian kid to star alongside Harrison Ford in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. And they went everywhere looking for him and couldn't find him, almost gave up the character when they decided to have an open call in Chinatown, Los Angeles at my elementary school. I mean, talk about being at the right place at the right time, right? And my brother went to audition, I tagged along, and the casting director saw me and says, "Keith, would you want to give it a try?" And I said, yes. The next day, I got a phone call from Steven Spielberg's office.
Short cut!
The way we did it back then is, all those sets were practical. So as a kid, when you arrive on that set, I mean, instantly, you're just amazed by the sheer size of it and the details that go into, building these sets. And I was having a really good time. And Steven and George, they run the set, very calmly. There was never any screaming. Every day it was just like a playground for me. The only thing that I didn't like was I had to do 3 hours of schoolwork every day. So I get pulled off the set while I was having fun and into the trailer to do all that homework. But other than that, I mean, it was really fun. And in fact, we were in Sri Lanka. We all stayed in this hotel. And every time we wrapped for the day, we would hang out at the hotel and I would go swimming. And I didn't know how to swim before. And it was actually Harrison Ford that taught me how to swim in Sri Lanka. Yeah, so to this day, I thank him for, I know how to swim because of him. Honestly, to be able to look back on that experience, 38 years now, with such fond memories, that is a true gift.
Wings of flight! Oh! Screen door! Let in! The screen door!
It was weird for me because coming off of Indiana Jones, where I was the only kid on set, so I got all the attention, versus being on a set with 6 other kids. And honestly, they're all hams. I mean, they really know what they're doing. So I found myself kind of like constantly having to fight for attention. But it was very familiar with me because, I grew up in a big family. And that's what my home was like. So I had no trouble with that. And I got some great friendships out of this movie. Jeff B. Cohen, aka Chunk, my entertainment lawyer, we're great friends. Sean and Corey and everybody, we're Goonies for life. We've been trying for so many years. For the last 35 years, we've been trying. We hired numerous writers. We had numerous drafts. And we always wanted to do it. But Dick passed last year. And somehow I'm kind of at peace with leaving it alone. It's such a classic movie and I'm fine the way it is. Besides, our head Goonie is no longer with us. And he was a big part of this. And I don't think we can do it without him. I come from a very traditional Chinese family. My parents are extremely strict. So not that I don't want to go to these parties, I was never allowed. My parents would kill me, had I taken a path down where I'm doing drugs or I'm or smoking all of that when I was a kid. So luckily, they really grounded me and kept me away from all of that. And in fact, when you just come out of a premiere where there's 1,000 people cheering you on and you go home and your family doesn't give a crap about that. They still treat you like their little brother. I still have to do all the chores. And do a lot of, do all the things that was required of me. And yeah, they really kept me grounded. And I really credit to my parents and my family for who I am today.
Hey guys, what happened happened to the two guys that were in the party yesterday that can't be forced? What happened to them?
You know, honestly, if you look at back then, Steven Spielberg and George Lucas was the first one to put an Asian kid in a big movie and in a big role. Over the years, there's so many people that came up to me and says, oh my God, Short Round and Data, these are amazing characters. And I wanted to be you when I was growing up. And hearing those comments from fans, it's very heartwarming. Those characters are great. I mean, you know, Short Round is courageous, he's funny, he freaking saves Indy's ass. And Data, I mean, he was just one of the gang. And he has these amazing gadgets. So I'm grateful to have played these two really wonderful characters. But of course, having said that, I mean, over the years, you know, Hollywood's portrayal of Asians hasn't been all that great. It was disheartening, it was dispiriting. And that was one of the reasons why I had to step away. Because I was constantly waiting for my phone to ring, not for an offer, but for an opportunity to audition for roles like these. And when they came, you would have every Asian actor in the industry at that time fighting for this tiny role. So I stepped away and, you know, I was content working behind the camera for a long time until 2018 when a little movie called Crazy Rich Asians came out. And I remember watching it in theater 3 times, cried every single time because it was a very moving story. It was a beautiful movie. And I also cried because I had serious FOMO. Watching that movie, I wish I was up there with my fellow Asian actors. And it was really that I decided to get back into acting. It was weird because I've never played a dad before. I mean, for the audience, the last time they saw me, I was a little kid. You know, I was an awkward teen. So hopefully they find it amusing and fun to see me return as a middle-aged man. And playing a father, I mean, I'm at that age where it's suitable to play a father. I mean, honestly, I had a really good time. This is an amazing role. It's an amazing movie. To work alongside with Michelle Yeoh and Jamie Lee Curtis and James Hong, all legendary actors. Again, it's one of the greatest adventures of my life.
Wow, holy smoke! Crash landing!
Short Round, step on it!
Oh my God, are you kidding? That's a great character. I would accept it instantly without a doubt. I think it would be cool to see an adult version of Short Round. It would be cool if I get to play him.